An elegant world of magic and mysterious forest fauna await us today, friends. We're taking a preview look at the newest box from Forbidden Games and designer Glenn Drover, Lizard Wizard. 2 previous titles have earned coveted top 10 spots on our year in review, and Forbidden is once again teaming up with phenomenal artist Annie Stegg to bring us the spiritual successor to Raccoon Tycoon. Still taking place in Astoria, but now evolving past the railroads and stock markets of the daytime into the spell casting and reagent gathering of the night. Let's get spookers. We won't do an unboxing here since we're dealing with a prototype game. My coins and cubes are very likely going to be different than the ones you get. Setup is relatively straightforward and will be familiar, if you'll pardon the pun, to those of you who've played Raccoon Tycoon. And if you haven't, please stop this video right now and go buy a copy. Seriously, it was our number 6 game of the year last year. Why haven't you played it yet? All the reagents start at their base cost, and the tower, spell, dungeon, familiars, and reagent decks all get placed in their respective spots on the board. From here, schwazi to see who goes first, and then the first player gets their choice of any reagent they want. Second player gets 2, choosing 2 different reagents. Third player gets 3, similarly not choosing 2 of any one type, and so on until everyone has some stuff. Now we're ready to go. Each magic user on their turn is going to choose only 1 action from the 6 available, complete it fully, and then pass the turn on to the next player. The game proceeds like this, around and around, until one of the tarot card-sized decks are depleted. The smaller decks get reshuffled in the unlikely event they run out. When the end game is triggered, the current round completes, and then you'll count up your score based on how well you've accumulated wizards, towers, familiars, spells, and gold. Along the way, you'll use up mana to attract these to your side, but at game's end, that power vanishes. Use it or lose it. At its heart, Lizard Wizard is a functional expansion of Raccoon Tycoon. You still have the stock market type reagent board. Wizards replace the railroads, but still allow you to accelerate your points based on affinity with your built towers, which replace towns. Familiars are new to this box and provide the only access outside of a single spell you'll have to one of the game's standout new additions, the dungeon. Entering the dungeon gives you an opportunity to press your luck, and while there aren't any whammies here, you will have to avoid the dungeon's various monsters. Draw cards one at a time, choosing to continue or stop after each one. Stopping allows you to leave the cave with all the loot you've earned thus far, but continue and you risk running into a baddie. Reveal any 2 of these and you lose everything you came for. Good day, sir. During our various playthroughs, I couldn't stop myself from getting on the dungeon train. It's such a satisfying experience, risky with the perfect amount of payoff, and you can even accumulate spells that make it more rewarding, allowing you to ignore certain monsters together and even increasing your payoff. Where does Lizard Wizard falter? Without trying to sound like I'm repeating myself, it really does return to the Raccoon Tycoon well. While there are new elements here, and the repeated ones have reskinned themselves admirably, the core of this magic apple is still Raccoon Tycoon. With all the games that have come out of Forbidden's house, I was a little disappointed to see how much of this game was already baked into one I already own. Don't get me wrong, that game is great and is worthy of finding a new audience who might be attracted to the new theme, but ultimately I wanted more freshness than I found. Where it succeeds, however, is where Forbidden Games and Glenn Drover as designer truly shine. Our learning games with new players have taken about 90 minutes, including explanation, and the one game we had time for with experienced players clocked in at almost exactly an hour. Forbidden prides itself on making games that hit the sweet spot between introductory tabletop experiences for players looking to move past gateway games into something with some teeth, and crunchy games for players who have more experience and want a deeper dive. Lizard Wizard slots itself a half step up from Raccoon Tycoon, given the extra mechanics and an additional affinity to think about. The increasing depth on trying to marry the various schools of magic across your wizards, towers, and familiars feels like a great little puzzle, daring you to hold off on shorter-term strategies to hunt for the ones you really want. Also, I'll mention it again because I love it so much. The dungeon is so much fun. Lizard Wizard introduces the players to darker, more mysterious side of Astoria and does so with a deft hand. Is it worth backing? Let's go through our checklist before I give you my final thoughts. In the box, rulebook clear and non-gender pronouns. Because this is a preview, I don't have the final rulebook. What I do have is pretty clear though, as Forbidden's rulebooks are always well done and always inclusive. Iconography clear. We did have some issues sorting through all the iconography just because there's so much. With 7 reagents and 7 schools of magic, it can get a little bit heady. Fortunately, you're only using them to match with the other cards, so it's fairly easy to pick out what you need. Packaging well done. My preview box is devoid of any kind of organization, but previous Forbidden titles have had excellent storage, and I'll hold their feet to the fire if that doesn't continue with Lizard Wizard. On the table, good representation. All the wizards and familiars in the game are represented by reptiles and other forest creatures, and none are obviously gendered save the Nympharum familiar, shown in the game as a little girl with wings. Component quality. My cubes and coins are placeholder and not representative of the final product. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes in the final box, however. Raccoon Tycoon's plasticated paper cash still ranks high in my all-time favorite game components. Given that we're dealing in mana this time, I'm hoping to see acrylic crystals or maybe even something truly innovative to track those. Also worthy of note here is Annie Stegg's artwork, as I mentioned before, which has really gone beyond the mark. It's a phenomenally gorgeous game to look at, and the entire world is built around that. Replay value, very high. With lots of strategies to consider and the relatively short playtime given the depth, you'll have lots to come back to again and again. Fun to lose. While there's a certain level of knowing who's ahead throughout the game, there have been surprises in ours as treasures from dungeon diving factor significantly in the final score. There's enough point salad here to reward players who go looking for more, and scores are often tight. There's no runaway leader issue in this game. So, the question becomes, if you already own Raccoon Tycoon, should you buy this? My instinct is to say yes, but only if you really like Raccoon Tycoon, or if you think that it was just a tad bit too light. Worth mentioning one more time is that Annie Stegg's artwork across the game cards and board is absolutely picture perfect. It's rare that a game that plays this well also happens to look this good, and that's a testament to the attention Forbidden pays to their products. Lizard Wizard is a game that will easily keep you under its spell for a long time to come. I'm Nicholas, reminding you to help protect the game population. Always sleeve your cards. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that video, please hit that sub button and check out all of our other offerings at goodluckhighfive.com. And please consider becoming a patron of the channel at patreon.com/GLHFmagic and help us keep making reviews, videos, and podcasts for as little as $5 a month. We're also always looking for new games to review, so if you make games or you know a company who does and wants to have their game reviewed on Good Luck High Five, please reach out to us at glhf@goodluckhighfive.com and we'd be happy to take a look. You can follow me, Captain N the Game Master, on Twitter and Instagram at CaptainNGM, and follow the channel at GLHF Magic. Remember, please shop at your local game store whenever possible. Until next time, I'm Nicholas, and good luck, high five.